This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you one and all for being a part of the webinar series that has been started by EduLoans. My name is Gurpreet. I am the product manager at EduLoans. Today, we are going to be having this session, which is going to be conducted by Amar. He is the head of Banca channel with HDFC Credila. He is an expert in the education loan sector. We will be handing over this session to Amar, who will be taking us through the benefits and the advantages that you can get by applying for an education loan through HDFC Credila. So he will take us through this presentation, and after the presentation, you can ask your questions through the chat box which is on the top right hand corner. Once you click that, you will get a box and you can enter your questions in the chat box, which Amar would be answering towards the end of the session. We would also like to let you know that this session is going to be recorded, and the recording will be available on our portal or our website in the next 2 to 3 days. You can feel free to view the same recording on our website as well. Now, I would like to hand over this session to Amar so he can take it forward. And towards the end, we will be able to answer your questions as well. Amar, you can start the session.
Thank you, Gurpreet. And again, guys, apologies for the delay. Before we start, Gurpreet, could you tell me what are the number of students that have logged in? Because I'm not able to see that on my screen. If you could tell me with that number.
That's absolutely fine, Amar. You can go ahead. We can discuss that at the end of the session because the session is getting recorded.
Okay, great. So first of all, happy Valentine's Day, guys. So this is actually it speaks a lot about your character because most of the students of your age right now could be out, having a Valentine party, but you guys are right now on the session, which shows and speaks a lot about your character and how serious you guys are about going for higher education to any of these countries abroad, be it US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, so on. So we'll start the session. Can we go on to the next slide, please?
Are you able to see the next slide, Amar?
No, we're still on the first slide.
We have gone to the next slide. There seems to be some technical issue on the video front at your side. Let me know if the screen changes for you. I'll just try to go to the previous screen once again. Does the screen change for you, Amar?
No, not yet.
Could be a problem with the net connection, I think so, at your side. Maybe the net connection is slow. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. I think so. Amar is facing some network connectivity issues. Amar, would you
I'm on the
want
next slide
to?
now. Good news is that I'm
Oh,
on the
you
next
are.
slide, guys. Yeah. So if you see, guys, this is our main punchline where we can tell you that your dream is our goal, and with our in-depth understanding of the education sector, we try to transform you into I can to I will. This is because we are the only NBFC or only company who does only education loans and nothing else. Our focus has been clear that we just want to do education loans and we want to help students. And with every year, we are learning a lot, from every student that goes to various countries. How to underwrite. It makes us more efficient and helps us underwrite better so that we can send more students and help them to fulfill their dreams as well. Next slide. So this is a small brief about HDFC Credila, guys. HDFC Credila started in 2006. We are a 100% subsidiary of HDFC Limited and a triple A plus rating as well. Till date, we have done around, we have sponsored students to 35 countries across 2,100 institutes and covered around 1,000 plus courses as well. We just last month we have crossed around 10,000 crores of education loans, pure disbursements. As we say that we do only education loans and nothing else. So that's our main USP. And if you compare ours, to different banks or NBFCs, they keep doing different kind of loans around every bank or NBFC. They do 30 to 40 different products. And what our focus has always been since inception is to do only education loans and help the students to achieve their dreams. And in terms of tax benefit, we are the only NBFC who has the ATE tax benefit option. So whenever you take an education loan from HDFC Credila, it will always help your parents while you're studying there as well. Next. So students, if you're able to see this slide, spending your parents' savings for higher education is so 2019. As you guys have taken time to come on to this webinar, leaving everything aside, this as I started the whole conversation, it's all about character. And even now that your parents have been saving a lot, a lot of money so that they can ensure that your higher education can be taken care. But I personally feel till now that most of you would be completing your graduation or your engineering and would be looking for something like masters. Yeah, there would be undergrad students also on this webinar right now, but around 75-80% would be looking for masters. So if you think just think, if you just sit along and just think that your parents have put so much money since childhood till date. Now it's time for you to step up, take the whole responsibility, and go for your higher education because the option of a loan is available. So what you can do is you can save your parents' money, let that money be with them for any unseen circumstances that arrive in life, or there could be some parent or some student who have a younger brother or a sister whose education also could be taken care because of the money that has been saved. So, but as you guys are on this junction of life, you should go ahead and stand for yourself and ensure that you take the education loan and complete your education, take up a job, and then start repaying it so that your parents, whatever money they have saved, can be used for their retirement and have a peaceful life. Next. So we wanted to show you a small video why we should take an education loan. Could we play the video? Is it playing? Okay, it's loaded now.
Amar, the video has ended.
Okay, thanks, Gurpreet. So, guys, as you saw the video, why we should take an education loan. If you've seen it, there are a lot of different aspects to it. First of all, it helps save your parents' savings, right? Second, it helps you, enjoy the tax benefit. Third, as we started, character building. Fourth, responsibility. And fifth, one more point is that what happens. Most of the students, as in, if we have a out of 10 students every year, 2 to 3 students come back to the country. So what they do is they go ahead, complete their education, take an exposure for 2 years, work there in the States, or UK or Australia, and then they want to come back and start up their own thing out here, their own, their own little business. So now that you've taken an education loan, what happens is you're able to create your own CIBIL, and you've paid the money back on time, so the CIBIL score will always be good for you to come back and take another loan, like a small business loan. You want to take a home loan or a car loan. Now that you've started your journey, these are the next things that start arriving in life. So again, coming back to the character part, as I said, it's time to step up for yourself and tell your parents that they can just enjoy whatever they have saved for themselves, and you guys take the responsibility of taking the loan and paying it back by completing your education, taking up a good job, and moving on. Next.
On the next slide, Amar.
Okay, so the slide says about the average first year cost of education country wise, right? So if you look at this, USA, the total cost of education for 1 year is around 18 to 20 lakhs, Canada around 11 to 13 lakhs, Australia again 17 to 20 lakhs, United Kingdom 15 to 16 lakhs, New Zealand around 14 to 15 lakhs. The only reason we have mentioned the first year cost here is, guys, because what happens when a student goes there, he is able to take a scholarship, one, he's able to take a TA or an RA kind of a job and help help himself for the remaining funds. Or legally, in some countries like in the US, you're able to work for 20 hours in a week. So our whole motto out here is that we want students to take only the education loan for the first year, because most of the students usually do so. What happens in the second year, as I said, all these 3 4 options that come in, the student should bank on these options and take care of the remaining funds. Again, what happens in this, you're able to save your parents money. You're taking a limited amount of loan, and rest you're managing it yourself by taking these 3 4 steps, like RA, TA, RA, I mean, as a research assistant job or a teacher assistant job, or else you earn a scholarship over there. Or fourth, if you do those small time jobs, which are legally allowed for 20 hours. So, guys, we have to, when you start moving out of the country, every penny saved is revenue earned. So, if you start doing and working towards that, you will be helping yourselves by taking these small jobs and funding your second year tuition fees and the rest of the cost that comes along.
Amar, we are on the next slide now.
Okay. This is a video again.
That's right. You want to talk about something before we play it?
No, you can go ahead with the video. We will speak once the video is done.
You can say the service that they provide is really awesome. The flexibility that they provide you with the loan disbursement, then the delivery when you have to, give them some documents or take some documents. They come to your place, they get it signed, they deliver all your documents, and receive everything. That is very easy. Second, whenever you need some assistance, you just have to give them a call and everything is done. So when it comes to loan, everything you heard that loan is a lot to do. HDFC Credila is the best thing you can do because it's very easy. They're very helpful and they're very common.
Amar, we are done with the video.
Thank you. So, guys,
So,
as you heard, the student, she is one of the students who went last year, and she took an education loan from HDFC Credila. And the way she's speaking highly about HDFC Credila is because of the service that was being offered to her, and not only her, for to every student, that is taking a loan from us. We ensure that the best of service is given, and we are able to do that because, again, as I started the presentation, that we are a dedicated education loan company, right? So we don't do anything else apart from education loans. So our complete focus has been doing so, and because of that, we are improving every year on year, and we are able to give the best of service, which is home delivered, because the whole process when you guys start from your GRE till the time you or your TOEFL or any exam which is required for higher education, from the time you do that, you register for that till the time you fly out of the country, you and your parents are going to be super busy, managing small things. First you'll go for your I-20, first you'll go for your admits, then your I-20s, then your visa. So during all of this process, no, you guys will be seriously tense, because most of you will be first timers who are going to be flying out of the country, for higher education. There could be some students who might have done their undergrad, come back, now they want to go for a master's. But most of the crowd that we come across are students who have done their education here in the country, in India, and now they want to go abroad. So the best thing is that time is to leave everything to HDFC Credila in terms of the loan procedure. We have the best of managers in the country who will help come meet you, give you the whole detail about how we have to go ahead, the list of documents, and every time anything has to be signed or anything has to be picked up or anything has to be delivered, our team will always be there on just one phone call. So as we spoke, why we have to take an education loan earlier is because there was some 3-4 reasons that we spoke about. And why HDFC Credila is because HDFC Credila does only education loans and nothing else.
Amar, we are on the next
Right?
slide.
So if you look at the slide is HDFC Credila versus other lenders. Again, HDFC Credila, the first and most important, is the only company who does education loans. Only education loans, nothing else. We offer tax benefit. So there are banks. If you go to a PSU bank, yes, they also definitely offer a tax benefit. But the product that we offer, we give you 100% finance, guys. 100% finance. It takes care of your tuition fees. It takes care of your stay, your travel, your stationery, everything that you want to put under other cost can be taken care by HDFC Credit. But if you go to a bank, there will always be a margin money So anytime you take a disbursement, for example, if you take a disbursement of 10 lakhs, the margin money is around 20-25% on that. So you'll have the bank will disperse 7.5 lakhs, and you guys will have to take 2.5 lakhs from your own pocket. So for that, you'll either have to take a personal loan, or else you'll have to, again use your parents' funds, whatever savings they have done. Third point, the most important point, as we heard the testimonial from the ex-student that was there on the video about the doorstep service. All these banks have 30 to 40 products, and they don't have any focus on education loans. And again, with us, we only do education loans and nothing else. So we ensure the best of service is given to each and every customer. The fourth point is on upper cap on the loan. If we are taking a collateral, there is no upper cap, so we can look up to even, maximum cost of an undergrad is around 1.25 CR to 1.5 CR. That can be taken care. But again, with the PSU banks, there will always be a cap. We can work around on the collateral part also. So if we have a collateral, if the cost of education is around 50 lakhs and the collateral is worth 45, 47 lakhs, we can still work around there. But if you go to a PSU bank, you will always require 100% bare minimum collateral that will have to be given to go ahead on the loan part. Co-borrower flexibility, again, for example, there could be students, where parents could be a little weak in terms of finance. So in that case, if you want a blood relative like a maternal uncle or a paternal uncle, aunt who wants to come on the loan, that can also be worked out with HDFC Credila. But if you go to a bank, they will be very strict on these rules. They would want the parent to be on the loan. We will also take the parent, but along with the parent, we will take an additional co-borrower so that the loan goes through and you guys can take the disbursement. Quick and hassle-free loans. The best part, again, as we do only education loans, so our timelines for an unsecured loan will be 5 to 7 working days from the time we receive the complete documentation. And for a secured loan, it will be anything between 15 to 20 working days from the time we receive the complete documentation. But with a bank, there are no timelines on that. Loan sanction before admin. This is one of the best options that we offer and no other banks offer. So I think right now, most of you who are applying for masters would have their admits in place, but we can have a sanction being given even before the admit comes. And most of the students use the sanction letter to provide it to the universities so that the admit process is much smoother than any other student who's applying it directly. Next, please.
We are on the next slide, Amar.
Okay. Sorry guys, because I'm facing internet issues right now and my screen is still behind. Right now, are we on the personal loan against property versus education loan screen?
We are on the video where the man is going to
Okay.
talk about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So please play the video.
Sure.
Thank you.
I think if you ask me how it is different, the first thing is the customer focus, as I said, because they are looking into the details as to what you require, which university you are applying, what is your timeline of payment. And the second thing is they will explain the process in details in terms of what is required, because after all, this is a financial contract. So the documentation, the collaterals, and everything is as extensive as it is usually in terms of applying the loans. But the difference here is the other banks will just push the documents and the guides to you, and they will expect you to understand them and do things. While as in Credila, you have a dedicated person who is working with you day and night, and he's trying to push your case forward by matching the requirements and helping you out in getting into completing the steps toward acquiring the loan.
So guys, again, as the gentleman spoke, each member of HDFC Credila, each manager that you will come across, works with a lot of passion, you know, to ensure that your education loan goes through. Whenever we see a student flying out of this country by taking a loan from us, we are equally happy, as happy as your parents would be, because yeah, it's a bread and butter for us, for sure. We do make money out of it, but the happiness that we get is equally, you know. So we ensure that the focus is there with you. We help you on
Could
that
you,
each and everything wherever.
Amar, sorry to interrupt you. Your voice was cutting there. Can you repeat that sentence once again?
Yeah, definitely. So as I said, guys, each and every manager of us, is really passionate about doing the education loan, helping you through that journey, as and whenever a student takes a disbursement and then leaves out of the country, as happy as your parents, each manager has the same feeling because of the passion that he has. Again, coming back to the first point that we said, that we don't do anything else but education loans. So we ensure that the focus is there on the customer. Whatever help the customer requires during the whole process, we keep developing ourselves. The more students we send every year, we get to learn a lot from them, and that's how we keep improvising, and we ensure that the whole thing, the parent, the student, and the parents, all three are happy in the whole journey that we start till the time we disperse the loan. And post sales also, we are one of the best. You will definitely uh, give a thumbs up once you guys are there, and any services are required. It is just on a click of a mail. HDFC Credila manager will be there to ensure that the support continues.
Amar, we are on the next slide now.
Okay. So this is the personal loan against property versus education loan slide. Right,
Yeah,
Gurpreet?
that's right. Yeah.
Thank you. So this is just a comparison that we wanted to share with students, so sometimes you might walk into a bank. Education loan process is a little a different process altogether. It takes a lot more time for the PSU banks, or when you walk into a bank, they might tell you, sir, why would you want to go for an education loan? You can go for a personal loan or a lap. So if you look on the screen, the clear definition that how education loan scores above the other two. If you look at a personal loan, the max amount that we can draw is around 20 to 25 lakhs, in some cases 30 lakhs as well. With a lap, if we do a lap, a loan against property, we get 60% or 65% to the max on the property price. So if the property is around 1 crore, you are able to draw around 60 lakhs on that. But with HDFC Credila education loan, as we said, there is no cap also. And plus, we do 100% finance. So we cover the entire cost of education till you're there for those 2 years. So anything you spend, on the tuition fees is covered, on your mess, on your travel, on your stationery, everything is covered. The most important part, guys, most important part is the tax benefit. Again, as I said, every penny saved is revenue earned. So if you're able to take a loan and help your parents save at the same time, there's nothing bigger than that. So as we spoke about the character building part, one most important, you're not taking any money from your parent now. You're going to tell them that please enjoy your life going. I will ensure taking an education loan myself and pay it back. And while you're doing that, they're able to take the tax benefit sitting here in India, because they're going to be a part of the loan. Now, these tax benefits won't come with a personal loan or a lap. The rate of interest, if you see with a personal loan, is anything between 10.5 to 18%, with a lap 11 to 13%. But with an education loan and with HDFC Credila, which has an 80E benefit, it will come down to anything between 8.64 to 8.99. So if your loan is sanctioned around 11.5 to 12%, okay, and if the tax benefit comes in the picture, there's a direct cutoff of 3% on that. So if it's at 11.5, it will come at 8.5, 8.6. Repayment options. Again, if you take a personal loan on a lap, you have to start paying the money from the first month. With HDFC Credila, there are various options. If you want to pay the full EMI, we can do that. If you want to pay only the interest, we can do that. If you want to pay only partial interest, we can do that. So again, every loan will be, case to case basis, it will be decided. And that too, we'll have a complete discussion when the credit gives you a call upon your comfort. You want to pay 5,000 every month for now. So if a student is going to the US or Canada and you want to do a partial interest, possible. So if you only want to pay 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, whatever makes you comfortable, we can start with that. If you're going to Australia or any other country, then we'll have to look at a full interest or a full EMI kind of a product. And the last point is about the repayment tenure. On a personal loan, again, it's around 5 to, I think, 7 years max. With a LAP up to 15 years, and with HDFC Credila also it's up to 15 years. We have a new product purely for abroad countries. We are trying to work 14 to 15 years so that we are able to give loans with a better rate now. Next. So these are HDFC Credila products, guys, and as we have discussed the whole thing during the presentation, the max on an unsecured loan is around 35 lakhs. In some cases, we can look up to 40 lakhs, depending on 5 factors: student, parent, country, course, university. If all of this is very good and the cost is high, then we can definitely take a call on that. The rate of interest is between 11.95 to 12.95 with an unsecured part. With a secured loan, there is no upper limit, as we discussed. We can even go up to 1.5 crores, which is the maximum that will be required for an undergrad course in UK, US, any country. The rate of interest is between 11.5 to 12.25, and the collateral that we can take is a flat, commercial property, NA land, and we can even take fixed deposits with HDFC Limited. And the courses that we cover for US and Canada is Masters, MBA, and undergrad.
Yeah, so we are on the slide which says HDFC Credila products. I think so. This is the second last slide. We would request if you could just make it quick so that we are running short of time here.
Done. I'm done with this.
You're done with this one? Okay. So the next one is Credila OneStop.
Right. The Credila OneStop is again once you log in as in once we take your documentation, we log in your file, and there will be an application ID that will be generated. So if you go onto the website, this website is purely for students benefits up to 50,000 rupees. So there we are tied up with more than 50 plus brands, which are helpful for students during their journey towards higher education. So we are tied up with British Airways or Sanofi, where we require vaccination. So there are benefits on various products that we have tied up. So as I said, once your application ID generated, you can just go on to HDFC. It is only Credila OneStop. It's not HDFC Credila. It's only Credila OneStop. You go onto that site and you're able to take advantage of these benefits.
We are moving forward to the next slide, which is the final slide. So should we take over from here?
Yes, please.
Thank you one and all for being a part of this wonderful session, which was conducted by the presenter Amar on behalf of HDFC Credila in collaboration with EduLoans. The company name for EduLoans is BITC Loan Services Private Limited. You would be seeing a few numbers flashing on your screen. So we will be taking your questions now, and Amar will be answering those questions. So I will read out those questions to Amar, and he will be providing answers to the same. So Amar, we'll start with the question and answer session. So I will read out the questions to you. If you could throw some light on these questions. So the first question we have is from Kavish Gupta. The question is, what is ATE tax benefit?
Okay, so that's an excellent question, because ATE tax benefit, guys, first of all, this tax benefit is available for 8 years from the time you take the disbursement. Second and most important, there is no upper cap on the interest amount that is paid. So, for example, during the loan that you have taken, you pay an interest of 10 lakh rupees. So, the whole 10 lakh rupees can be taken care under ATE. And what is ATE? So, there are different slabs if you look at it. There's ATC, ATD, ATCCD. ATE is purely for education loan tax benefit. So, any student who goes out of the country for higher education or also within the country for higher education, he can take this benefit. So he or his parents can take this benefit.
The next question is from Krish. Do we have to keep any mortgage while applying for education loan?
We have two products, one with security, the other is without security, depending on the country course again. So for US, yes, we can look at an unsecured loan. But if it's a US and Canada, but if it's any other country apart from this, then we will require security. Does that
The
answer
next,
that question?
yeah, the next question is from Magesh Gurusamy. What are the documents needed for the loan? I will answer this on your behalf, Amar. So
Okay.
the documents, there is a list of documents which is sent by EduLoans when you apply for HDFC Credila through EduLoans. We shoot out an email to the HDFC Credila team as well as to the student, which has a list of documents, as well as when the HDFC Credila relationship manager gets in touch with you, they also do send out a list of documents that they would want from your side. Is that correct, Amal?
Yes. So the best is, once we are able to meet you, if you're able to get a house visit, we can give you a detail about the product country wise. So there could be students going to the US, some going to Europe, some going towards Australia, Singapore, New Zealand. So we'll tell you what would be the document list. If it's a secured loan, what will be required. If it's an unsecured loan, what will be required. But
The
the
next,
best thing is,
sorry, go ahead, please.
it'll only happen if we are able to meet you guys.
The next question is from Magesh again. And what will be the processing fees for the same after the documents?
So the processing fee is 1.25% plus taxes on the sanctioned amount.
The next question from Magesh again. Any special discount for girl students?
Not really. So we do not have a product as such that has a special, like you might be comparing this with the PSU bank, but definitely we can tell you that the rates that we offer and the service that we offer, you will be more than happy going with HDFC Credila.
So we have the next question, which is from Kavish Gupta. Can loans be taken without mortgage for 50 lakhs for masters in Australia?
No, for Australia, the product is only with collateral. If it's US, we can look at unsecured maximum. So we do 35 lakhs today, maximum we can try for 40 lakhs.
The next question is from Krish. Minimum requirements for an unsecured loan.
Again,
What
when we
are the,
underwrite a loan,
sorry, go ahead.
when we underwrite a loan, we look at 5 factors. Unsecured loan, the biggest bet will always be the student. So we look at the student's academics. Second, we will look at the parent. So here in that case, if the parent is average as well, but the student is really good, then we can take a bet. Okay. And unsecured will happen only in the US or Canada. So then we look at the course, country, university. Those three parameters will also come into play. So, but for the unsecured loan, the student is the biggest bet.
The next question is from Kavish Gupta. What is the maximum amount that we can get without mortgage?
US 35 lakhs, Canada 15 lakhs. That's it.
I hope that answers your question, Kavish. So we are waiting for some more questions to come in. We'll wait for a minute or two to see if there are any more questions coming in, Amar.
Yeah, no worries.
Does anyone else have any questions to ask? You can feel free to put it in the chat box. We have a question from Kavish Gupta. How much is the interest rate? Kavish, could you be a bit more specific whether you're talking about secured or unsecured loan? Or can Amar, you answer this questions?
Yeah, definitely. The secured loan starts at 11.25 and it's between 11.25 and 12.25, and an unsecured starts at 12.25 and above.
I hope that answers your question, Kavish. Do you have any more questions, Kavish? He's asking if the parents and student is an average and the student wants to apply for a postgraduate diploma in Canada, what is the
Okay.
maximum amount which can be gained as an unsecured loan?
See, with an unsecured loan, the maximum in Canada, we can look at 15 lakhs. But then again, as I said, when we are giving an unsecured loan, the student has to be, uh, very good at academics. So that's where the call starts. If the student is average, then in that case, there will be a security that will start coming into play.
So Magesh has another question. What will be the interest amount for 10 lakhs of secured and unsecured loan?
What will be the interest amount?
Yeah.
So again, how long the loan is, for
Yeah.
example, if the
Magesh,
student takes the loan and he services the loan for 3 years, the interest amount will be different than what he does for a 5-year loan. Right. But the interest rates, yeah, definitely I can tell you, if it's a secured, it will start at 11.25 and an unsecured will start at 12.25.
so Magesh, what Amar is trying to say is it really depends on the tenure of the loan, and it also depends on the on the time frame that you want to pay it back. You might want to pay it sooner. The sooner you pay, you stop incurring any more interest on that amount. Yeah, so he's messaging that he's understood. So we'll just take 2 to 3 more questions before we end the session for today.
Okay.
Just waiting for them to come on. So while the questions are being awaited, I would just like to inform that we have started these series of webinars for EduLoans along with its financial partners, HDFC Credila being one of them. So we have had the privilege of having Amar with us, who has been an expert into the education loan industry for quite a few years, and we are going to be having and continuing these series in the weeks to come. We will be having them every Friday between 7 to 7:30, and we apologize that today's session, due to some technical glitches, it got a bit extended and delayed. So you can feel free to join in these sessions and you can register yourself. We'll be sending out emails and SMSs to y'all where you can click on the link and you can join these sessions. Also, you have the numbers that are flashing on your screen. These are the numbers for the counselors that we use. So these counselors at EduLoans are always available. In case you have any questions to ask, you can feel free to call these counselors and they'll be more than happy to assist you with the answers to your questions. We have one more question here, Amar.
Okay.
The question is, if the mortgage property is valued around 30 lakhs, is it possible to get a disbursement of 25 to 30 lakhs?
Yes, very much possible.
I hope that answers your question, Krish. We'll just take one last question, and thank you, Amar, for giving your time on a late Friday evening, being a Valentine's Day. I am sure you would want to spend this time with your Valentine as well. Uh, so we really thank you. You've taken time out of your working hours as well to be a part of this session today. So it seems that there are no further questions that are coming. So we want to thank all of you all for taking a time out and being a part of this session. Nimisha has one last question that we will answer. Can we return the given amount of loan at any time?
Anytime, yes. And there are no prepayment charges as well.
She's asking, there won't be any interest or charges.
No, there won't be any charges. Interest again, in the
Interest would depend on the amount utilized and for the time
yes,
frame that
till,
the amount
yeah,
has been utilized.
till the time the loan is active. But they can, for example, in a year they want to make some partial payments, so they can do it even twice a year, thrice a year without any charges on them.
Nimisha, we did not quite get your question. You are trying to ask if I take the loan for 10 years. Could you be a bit specific on that question? Okay. Now you are asking another question. I take the loan for 10 years and I returned it in 3 years. So she's asking what will happen then.
So the interest will be charged only on those 3 years, and whenever she prepays the entire loan, there won't be any prepayment charges. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, she got the answer. She's thanking you for answering her question.
You're
So
welcome.
thank you, everyone. That was the last question we took for the day, and now we are getting thanks in the chat box from all the people who have attended the session today. They are thanking you for your time as well, Amar. So you can say thanks to them as well for being a part of this session. And if you have any further questions, you can feel free to call us on these numbers flashing on your screen, as well as you can view this recording, which will be available on our EduLoans website in the next 2 to 3 days. And you can be a part of the forthcoming webinar sessions as well. Amar, your last words to the people as well.
So thank you guys, for giving us this opportunity. Again, thanks to Imperial team also for the same, or BITC Loan Services team, for giving us the opportunity to speak to all the students. Guys, do well. Best of luck, and ensure that when you're there, you are focusing on education and doing the best for yourselves. Thank you once again.
Uh, I, Gurpreet Singh Sethi, on behalf of EduLoans, would like to thank Amar for taking this time out and helping us with taking us through the benefits that Credila has to offer. And once again, thanks to everyone who was a part of this session today. And we hope to see you in the forthcoming webinars as well. You all have a wonderful day ahead and wishing you a happy Valentine's Day once again. Bye bye for now.
Bye bye for now. Thank you. Thank you, guys.